Kia ora koutou katoa and warmest greetings from the people of Wellington. It's a real pleasure for me to talk with you today about Wellington's journey from a post-COVID-19 city to a post-carbon emission city. Of course, the fact that we're meeting like this means that none of us are quite post-COVID-19 yet. But before I start, I want to acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional guardians of the land on which you're meeting today. My greetings also to all the distinguished city leaders who are also joining us for this Asia Pacific Cities Summit. And I want to thank you all for the wonderful work you do in looking after and enhancing the cities that you love. I want to begin by reflecting on what makes for a healthy city. Now in New Zealand, we are statutorily required to address what we call the four well-beings: economic, social, cultural, and environmental. And every city in New Zealand has also just developed a long-term plan or 10-year budget. Ours is based on three key pillars: inclusivity, sustainability, and creativity. Put all of those things together, and with the having pride in and connection to the place that we call home, those are the things that will build a healthy city. Wellington is a city full of significant stories, and at the forefront of those stories is our environmental restoration journey. We've labelled it From Extinction to Restoration. And that's where I'm going to start my story with a few slides. Welcome to Wellington. Beautiful, historic, compact, walkable. Wellington is without doubt at the forefront when it comes to restoration and care for the natural environment. The slides you've just seen, some of those are bird species which are gone forever, extinct. Others are species which we're trying to restore. Wellington's been recognised by The Economist in the last month as being the #1 city in the world for environmental restoration. Like many other cities around the world, we declared a climate emergency in mid-2019, but much less usual was our declaration of an ecological emergency. New Zealand and Australia both have very high levels of endemism, species found nowhere else in the world. We've got about 4,000 species at risk of extinction or threatened in New Zealand. In the last 30 years, we've purchased and protected extensive areas of land, doubling the size of our reserve network. There's been extensive natural and assisted regeneration. We have our own marine reserve, but the crown jewel is this place, Zealandia, the world-leading eco-sanctuary right in the heart of our capital city. Today, species absent just a few years ago are now regular sites spreading all over our city. Tui, kaka, kereru, kakarihi, and at night, the native owl, the ruru, the kiwi, if you're lucky enough to live close enough to Zealandia to hear it. Zealandia is about science, education, conservation, restoration, community involvement. We've got 16,000 members and 600 active volunteers. It's also about economic activity, 130,000 visitors prior to lockdown. Predator Free is another powerful initiative. What you see here is a digital app which allows us to track the animals which are captured, track the activity of the traps, if you like. It illustrates Wellington's strength of community, environmental leadership, and creative use and development of technology. Digital, weightless technology is a critical part of our economy and also of our journey to being a post-carbon city. We're on a journey too to become the world's first predator-free city, aiming for zero possums, mustelids, and rats. Already, Miramar Peninsula is close to being the first major urban area in the world to eradicate rats. Almost every part of our city has a predator-free group. 9,500 traps registered and 74,000 pests trapped so far. And we've gone in the last just under 30 years from 2 community reserve care groups to 140 and planted our 2 millionth tree. We're taking the lessons of that technological innovation and people engagement into all of the challenges that we face. And we're not forgetting climate change at all. We've adopted and funded a strategy called Te Atakura, aiming for carbon neutrality by 2050. Our population is up 26% in the last 20 years, but our net emissions are down by 7%. And this year, we'll be pulling the really big levers in transport and urban development. We face a challenge, a wero. The words here I'm going to translate for you. Our challenge is to protect and enhance the realms of the land and the waters, and they will sustain and strengthen the people. People of Wellington, Poniki, together we decide our way forward. In 2 months' time, we will engage with our community on a combined transport and urban planning program, incorporating all modes of transport alongside a new district plan, which builds on our long-standing compact, walkable city strategy. Collectively, those initiatives will be truly transformational. We'll be backed by a powerful computer tool, a digital twin city. And here it is. It's not actually Wellington City, it's a digital model. Using data and gaming technology, we'll be able to showcase the proposed and possible changes in our city. Our digital twin, here it is, in operation, has been entered into the Bloomberg Philanthropies Global Mayoral Challenge. It's a powerful, data-driven tool which will allow our citizens to engage in that transformation process. You can see there all manner of metrics from transport volumes, where the buses are, to city safety and environmental parameters. It will allow us to show the effects of sea level rise as well on our city. You can see there the dark and the light blue, which models the 0.5 of a metre or a metre in sea level rise. That will help us with property and planning decisions. We're also a city that faces great challenges as a seismically prone city. That means investing in resilient infrastructure like this 35 million litre reservoir due for completion in mid-2023. And buildings too, we're investing in seismic resilience here. This is our magnificent 1904 Town Hall, which is undergoing a $112 million strengthening project. Wellington is the place of the big conversations, our capital city, chosen for its central location. City motto is Suprema a situ, supreme by situation. As an example of what we want to be as a post-carbon emissions city, this is Takina, our new 5 Green Star Convention and Exhibition Centre. It's due for completion in mid-2023, and it's part of 2 square kilometres of compact central city that together delivers a staggering 11% of New Zealand's GDP. This year, New Zealand has become the first economy to host an entirely virtual Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference, APEC. While we would have loved to have all of our visitors here in person, Wellington is a UNESCO City of Film and a GovTech capital will play host to the bulk of APEC 2021's virtual meetings. Thank you for making this summit possible and allowing me to share how we and our people are moving from a post-COVID-19 to a post-carbon emissions world. Our journey is based on technology, innovation, and a highly engaged community. We've led the world in environmental restoration, and we're applying those lessons to all of the other challenges and opportunities that we face. I'm looking forward to the rest of the summit, and please, look, if you've got any questions, send them through on the conference app. I look forward to seeing you soon.